J-Man here for a comic book review. Superman number 5. All right. If you've been following along, you know that Superman is my favorite character of all time in any genre, not just comic books, but just in general. And I felt that the Superman comics have not been that great for a long time, maybe since John Byrne took over. Some people don't even like the John Byrne ones because he weakened them. He made him the last son of Krypton, all that kind of stuff. But I still like those, Man of Steel and everything. But I have to say that recently, and I'm talking about from issue 1 of this, Superman's been pretty cool again. And Superboy has been awesome. I just gave 10 out of 10 to Superboy issue 3. Superman Lost is up and down. I liked issue 3 a lot. 1 was awful. 2 was like okay. 3 was really good. And 4 was like Action Comics has been okay. But the big 2 is Superman and Superboy. Superboy has been stellar, but I kept giving Superboy like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. And then I guess the writers of Superman like saw my videos and they're like, hey, wait a minute, why is this guy giving 10 out of 10 to Superboy? We got to make a comic that's 10 out of 10. Did they succeed? We're going to find out. I'm going to rank this using my space system. Story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get. If I give the artistry a 2 out of 2, then I'm not saying that the art in this comic is better than Neil Adams' entire career. I'm just saying that the art in this book works for me for this book, okay? I'm not comparing this comic to Spawn. I'm not comparing this comic to XO Man of War. I'm comparing this comic to Superman comics. If you buy a Superman comic, it comes with a promise. The promise is that it's friggin' Superman. He's gonna do cool shit, and there's probably gonna be some villains or sci-fi elements. That's what they're promising you. How well did this comic succeed in its promise? Okay. The storyline. I'm going to give the storyline a 2 out of 2. Yeah. This has been the best issue of this comic. But this comic has gotten better, which is what's supposed to happen. Issue 1s are typically not all that amazing because they're setting everything up. So you're just like, okay, it's set up and then whatever. The setup's not going to be good. It's tough with comics. Like, we're not talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, it's got this opening scene. You're like, wow, that was awesome. And then it just gets into the story and you're going in from there. Now, Raiders and James Bond and, Temple of Doom, those kind of movies, they always have like a little bit of the opening scene doesn't necessarily connect exactly to the plot that follows, but it's there to get you pumped, Comics, it's tougher. You should do a good, if you get it, if a issue 1 gets about a 7 out of 10, 7 or 8 out of 10, that's really good. Because the way my system is broken down, there's still a character component, right? And a story component. And those components aren't necessarily perfect right away, right? Sometimes it takes a while. Like, I would say Giant Size X-Men is awesome. You got all your character moments and you can continue from there. And obviously some characters develop. Thunderbird gets killed, so he doesn't go anywhere. Sunfire kind of leaves. But, Wolverine gets much better. Obviously, Colossus gets more interesting. Nightcrawler is a breakout from that, right? So it's tough. Giant Size X-Men still gets a 10 out of 10 in my book because of the promise of a new team that's exciting. This is a new team being introduced. How excited are you? So anyway, 2 out of 2. So Lex Luthor has been talking with Superman, and they've been working together to stop some of Luthor's enemies this time around. LexCorp has become Supercorp, or Supercore, and Superman is working with Mercy, and they're giving him equipment, and so LexCorp is now Supercorp, and that's interesting as well. Another element that's happening is that Jimmy Olsen is dating Silver Banshee, which I think is great. I'm going to get to the characters in a moment, but I love the storyline here. They're trying to figure out what these villains are up to. There's a stinger at the end that really got me. Like, friggin' got me pretty damn good. Like, that never happens. Never happens. Good job. Good job. The pacing, I'm going to give the pacing a friggin' 2 out of 2. It starts off with action. Well, actually, it starts off with a backstory relating to the characters with Jimmy and Silver Banshee meeting and kind of dating and stuff. And you know what? The pacing was perfect, perfect. I can't tell you, I'm so happy because when Superman is done right, and I'm tired of people, he's too powerful and all this bullshit. You can't tell stories. You can tell great stories with Superman. You want an example? It's in my hand right now. Okay, this is right now. This is a good one. So, and this just came out today, right? Or yeah, today. So don't give me this bullshit of, we can't do Superman stories. We don't know what to do with the character, right? So again, perfect pacing. You got one page, and Superman Lost issue 1 was awful. And watch that video and you can see what I'm talking about with pacing. Let's take a look at this one. We got one page here. Silver Banshee, she's handing out flyers, right? Jimmy Olsen catches one, they talk. The next page is literally just a montage, and we got it. Remember, what was that? Up. Remember Pixar Up? It was like 2 minutes or something in the beginning where they show him and his wife. That's it. One page. I don't need the adventures of Jimmy and his girlfriend. I need one page to get me invested in their relationship. That's it. I don't need like half the comic. Then you see them living together. Phone rings and boom, we're right into the story. Okay? Right back into continuing from here because Jimmy is saying, I love her. We had to see why he did that. We're back right into the action. Silver Banshee's fighting with Superman here. So now we got a couple of pages of fighting. I know I'm taking a little longer on the pacing, but I really need to drive this home because I've had people comment on my stuff. They're like, I don't know what good comics are and all this other bullshit. It's like, listen, you're entitled to your opinion. I'll accept any comment. That's fine. I got no problems with that. But I want to explain myself, okay? We're getting right into action. And now we're getting right into, so we had a couple of pages here of fighting, right? It's Superman. There has to be fighting, right? Okay. So then they're like, okay, we have this. Banshee's like, I'm being controlled. Like I can't control the screams. Like they've amplified her powers. So it's just like going crazy. So Superman's like, okay, we got to figure something out. Mercy comes out, brings in some weaponry. I don't want to go through this entire comic, but he's like, okay, I'm going to go after her. Jimmy's like, I'm going with you. And don't tell me I'm not because I got to go. I'm going to weave this back in a second. Let's go to artistry. The art is awesome. I'm giving it a 2 out of 2 for art. I love this art. Superman looks great in this comic. The colors are amazing. Like some of these pages are wicked. Okay. Great stuff. Characters, 2 out of 2. I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Enjoyment factor, 2 out of 2. Let me go back. So again, character moments. We saw Livewire. We saw Silver Banshee. She's like, I can't control it. I love you, Jimmy. I don't know what to do. Like if I don't go along with this, they're going to kill everybody I love. Right. And she even tries to say, no, I don't love you. It was all a lie. But that was a great character moment. Jimmy saying, listen, Superman, would you stop? Would you hang back? Because Superman's like, hang back. And he's like, no, I want to go with you to help her. They get him a jetpack and boom, Jimmy's going. All right. Great art here. So enjoyment is 2 out of 2. I'm giving it 10 out of 10. So there you go. Right. Jimmy, so great characterizations with everybody. Now we're more than halfway through. And now we're getting into the, kind of what's going on, right? So Superman's going to finally confront the villains. I just forgot their names. Damn it. I don't write scripts for my reviews. I should write notes. I don't even write notes. I just talk on the fly. It's Graft and something. I just literally blanked. Farm and Graft, that's it. Jeez. So now he's confronting them and they're saying, well, Lex Luthor isn't who you think. There's something going on you don't know about, right? And then we have some great character moments. Now, typically, it's basically Superman loses his super hearing. He still has his hearing, but he loses his super hearing. And it's very important. It's super important to the plot, which I'm not going to reveal. I'm not going to give away the stinger. They go on a date. Okay, so they go on a date. They go on a double date. Lois and Clark go on a double date with Jimmy and Banshee. Normally, I'd be like, what the hell is happening here? We don't need these 2 pages of this date. We could have easily just had, and I can't show you this page because there's a stinger. I'm like, we could have just had like action, right? However, it's very important. This actually plays a part in it because she's performing a concert, so it's pretty loud. This all has to do with the story. So it's worked in. Like, they didn't just write this crap and say, oh, we're going to write whatever we want. They thought it through. They really thought it through. I'm shocked. Like, I'm actually, I know you're going to be laughing. Oh yeah, Jason. No, I'm completely shocked. I'm completely shocked. This was awesome. I really like this a lot. Look, it's never going to be pre-Crisis Superman. We just need to, I'm talking to I'm talking to the old school guys like me. It's never going to be pre-Crisis Superman. We're never getting that back. Okay, everybody knows, obviously, pre-Crisis Superman, Kurt Swan, all that stuff. That's the real Superman. That's the best. We're never getting that back. Those days are never coming back. So the options are: you don't read any more Superman comics, or if you love the character like me, you don't want to give up on Superman. You think he can. They can tell a lot of great stories. He's not done yet. He's got a long way to go. I'll say that this really has got me excited. So Superman and Superboy have been just stellar. Action Comics is okay. It's okay. Steelworks I hated because it's typical of what people make fun of in modern comics. The hero doesn't want to be a hero anymore. Nothing happens. It's all just a bunch of talking. It's like, oh, he's got a corporation now. Like, who cares? Like, there's Supercorp in this. Yeah, but it's not the entire thing. They don't go, like, Superman doesn't sit there going through ledgers and stuff. Like, it's like, get to the action. They don't, like, the guy or Grano, I don't know who's writing this. The person writing this understands at least that there needs to be action, okay? Superman Lost, again, I have a feeling it's a 10 out of, I have a feeling it's a 10-part story that could have been a 5-part story. And if it was a 5-part story, it'd probably be 10 out of 10. Right now, it looks like it's going to be like a 7 out of 10, 10-part story, where it could have been a 10 out of 10, 5-part story. Pacing is important. It's super important. When I finished reading this, I was like, wow, I'm already done reading this. I'm like, I got to read this again. I actually thought, did they shortchange the pages or something? Nope. What's the value of this? $5. It's too much. It's great. Comics, that's what comics cost. I don't think it should be $5. Comics need to be cheaper. Todd McFarlane is doing Spawn comics at $2.99. There is no excuse why this needs to be $5. It's kind of a disgrace. It should really even be $3.99, worst case, but really $2.99. Comics need to go back to being a couple of bucks, right? 2 or 3, even $3 is a lot. Because I'm in Canada, $3 ends up being like $4.50 or something, right? But yeah, anyway, 10 out of 10. Shocking. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Am I crazy? Did I give this way too high? I am easy on Superman. So for a regular person who doesn't care about Superman, this would probably be like an 8. But I love Superman, so if there's a really good Superman story, I'm going to give it really high marks because I'm excited. But I think I did a good job of explaining how I got to 10 out of 10. I didn't just arbitrarily make up 10 out of 10. And I did give Superman Lost and Steelworks lower grades. So I'm not just saying, oh, it's Superman, so it's automatically 10. No way. No way. All right, guys. That is, Blue Beetle. Who's going to go see Blue Beetle? I'm going to see Blue Beetle. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, that is it for Superman issue 5. Until next time.